What are some factors that actually prevent a family from moving their loved one into your home? I'm actually going to talk about that, so make sure you guys stick around. What's up, everyone? I hope you guys are all doing well. If you're new here, my name is Serge. Welcome to my channel. To all the reoccurring viewers, guys, thank you so much for all the support, for all the love, and everything that you guys have been doing for this channel. And if you guys haven't, and if you're new, make sure that you go join the Facebook group that I've created called Legion Assisted Living Academy. I will link it down below. Make sure that you guys actually answer the 3 questions prior to requesting yourselves into the group. That way I can have a better idea of where you are, what you're wanting to do, and it just helps me get to know you guys a little better. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the topic of this video. Let's go ahead and start with the 5 factors that I think families actually look at and what actually prevents them from moving a loved one into your home. So the first factor that I want to mention is location. This is a factor that you can't really control, and it's something that, for the most part, if a family is actually looking into your location, they're most likely going to move their loved one in. But for the most part, if families are looking in a specific location and your home happens to fall in that location, you have a better chance of moving them into that home. But if they go way out of their way to move someone in, they're most likely not going to. So that's what's going to happen with location. Location is something you can't control, and families are probably not going to move their loved one if it's way out of their way and the location isn't as convenient as they would like. The second thing that actually prevents a family from moving a loved one into your home is cleanliness and just the smell of the home. I know that's such a little thing, right? But think about it like this. When you move a loved one into your home, or when you move someone anywhere really, you want to look at how clean the location is, right? Think about it like for yourself. When you're going to visit somewhere, or you stay at a hotel or an Airbnb or anything of that sort, you want to stay somewhere that's clean, and that makes complete sense, and that's something you actually do have control over. And so you want to make sure that you keep your home clean and smelling good. You would be surprised on how many homes smell terrible, right? I think we've all been in nursing homes. We've all probably visited loved ones in nursing homes and other assisted living homes, and they just smelled like terrible, like old people, right? Like urine and poop. And that's normally the stigma assisted living homes get. But if you can actually just do that little change in your home and actually clean your home and keep your home clean, it will be the biggest difference, guys. It will, and that's what's going to prevent a family from moving a loved one in, is the fact that it smells terrible and that it's not really clean. It may be clean, but it may smell, it may have that stench of just, old people, and you don't want that in your home. So you can do things like get all kinds of things to make your home smell good. So guys, that is the littlest thing like that will actually prevent a family from moving their loved one in. The third thing that I want to mention that will prevent a family from moving a loved one into your home is food. If you don't have good food in your home, and your caregivers aren't cooking healthy meals and the residents just don't like it, that's going to prevent a family from either moving a loved one in, or later on down the road move a resident out. That's just a part of it. So you want to make sure that you're able to meet their needs, right, and meet their diet. So talk to the families, tell them what you guys offer on the menu, and what you guys are willing to feed the residents. So if you just have kind of like, if they come in during a tour and it's lunchtime and they see that all you're giving them is like, I don't know, just some sandwiches and chips, right? Like, they're not going to really like that. You want to make sure you're at least cooking them actual meals. So that is the third thing that will actually prevent a family from moving their loved one in. The fourth thing is, and I know this is something you can control, but you can't control due to market fluctuating and everything, but it is price. You want to make sure you're not overcharging for the service that you are providing. That is going to prevent a family 100% from moving their loved one into the home, because they could go down the road and go to a different home who probably doesn't have everything that you do, but has a better price. If you know, money does talk, and if you're able to just work with the family and you're able to get them into your home for a reasonable price, I'm not saying don't lowball yourself and don't, because you need to make some money, but then at the same time you don't want to overcharge for something that a home down the road is, you know, charging for way cheaper. So that is probably the fourth thing that you can control, and you want to just be smart about it. But that will prevent a family from moving a loved one in. And the final and last thing that actually will prevent a family from moving a loved one in is yourself as the owner. I think a lot of families, what I've noticed is that they ask, what is it that you know, as an owner, as a manager, are you here all the time? Are you, you know, watching over my loved one? Are you making sure that they're okay? Are you making sure that everything is going well? That will actually prevent, like, the fact that an owner isn't at the home, or they don't ever see an owner at the home or the manager as often as they like, that will actually probably prevent. And I mean, you could like lie to them, and you don't want to do that, because down the road they will find out and they will see, and if you lie to them, that's not going to be a good reputation for you. But you know, that's, you got to just be smart with that. You got to make sure that you're actually at the home and you're actually being involved for the most part, at least enough to make the family comfortable for them to actually move their loved one into your home. And then I'm going to add just a little bit more to all of this. You know, from my experience and everything that I've seen, is the level of caregivers you have, right? Or the amount of caregivers, sorry, the amount of caregivers that you have. So the caregivers will make a massive difference. And I know that in a society like ours, we mostly have more foreigners that work as caregivers, due to the fact that they don't have a level of education, they don't have a college degree, and a lot of caregivers can just go get their certification. But there is that language barrier. If your caregivers aren't able to communicate properly with the residents, or when they are touring the home, when the family's touring the home and they ask the caregiver some questions and they can barely understand the caregiver, that's most likely going to prevent the family from moving a loved one into your home. And you just want to be careful with that and hire the proper caregivers that speak decent English. They don't need to like speak the best English possible, but they need to speak a good enough amount of English to be able for the family to understand them, for you as the owner to understand them, and to be able to communicate and make sure that your residents are being taken care of. Those are the main reasons why a family will actually not move a loved one into your home. And I want to make sure that you guys have that education and you have that knowledge, because I didn't know any of this prior to starting, or even I just learned along the way, and I had to tweak all this stuff and what worked, what didn't work, and everyone's different. Some families just don't care. Some families care a lot. They will like go into a ton of detail about, okay, what was your inspections? What deficiencies did you have, right? And then some families just have no idea about even looking any of that stuff up, or even asking about any of that stuff. So you got such a variety of people, right, of who you work with, and you have to just make sure you tailor to them and you make sure that you give them the best service possible, because down the road that will help you guys tremendously, and you guys will have a lot of business and a lot of clients and a lot of residents, and you won't ever really have the struggle of being vacant. And you may have just a little bit of time where you are vacant, but for the most part, if you avoid all those things, for the most part, some of those things can't be avoided. Like, I mean, location, you can't avoid that. You can't have a home in like 20 different places, but and then also, you know, prices, right? Prices are kind of hard to control, especially in the market. You know, you have to just see what that location that you're in, what they're charging. That sometimes you can have some control over, but not so much. And you just want to make sure that you're aware of what the prices are going in your area. If you guys made it all the way to the end, thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you guys. If you haven't yet, make sure to hit the like button, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you haven't yet, go join that Facebook group that I've created called Legion Assisted Living Academy. And make sure to go watch all these other videos. They're very informative, guys. So thank you again. I appreciate you all. So I will see you guys all in the next video. God bless. Peace.